Hello, my name is Belia Martinez, and for my final project, I was able to interview two very talented hip hop artists that are also a part of the Latino community. They have both very different backgrounds as far as the music industry. One is a brand new artist who has started making music a little under 2 years, and another one is a seasoned artist who has his own recording studio, makes his own albums, and has been in the industry for over 15 years. I was able to get some insight about what being Latino means as far as being a rapper. And they were very both similar, but some things weren't so similar as their struggles and their music career have differed. Um, their names, the younger one being called Tragic Bethel, and the other one called Ice. And he owns a production company called Ice House Records. Um, the first question that was asked was, what inspired you to create music, and more specifically, hip hop and rap? Tragic said that what inspired him to create music was how he would go out with his friends and they would just kind of perform in what we went over as far as called battle rapping. And he was around the area and the scene, and when he heard like just the beats and then the way that they would freestyle, he really liked it, and so he decided to try and do this for his career, and he's working at it so far. And with Ice, it was something similar. Ice being 45 years old and Tragic being about like 23 years old. Like they had kind of the similar things where Ice kind of came up in the 90s and he was around all these influences, and he said it was just part of his culture with growing up in South Texas and the Valley. Um, Next question was, do you think your music is different from black rappers? What about white rappers? And both of them said yes in their own unique ways. Tragic went on to explain how he does also like reggae, and he does like to incorporate a lot of Spanish into his music, along same thing that I said, that their rap was about their lives and what it was like growing up for them. So it was different than black and white artists who also do rap because they both have this experience that's unique to them in being Hispanic, Mexican, Latino. Um, Both write about serious topics, and sometimes they don't write about serious topics. Tragic went on to say that he thought whatever was in his head this week is kind of what he writes. Like he has a song about money. Sometimes he's having a bad week and he has a song that's about suicide. And Ice went on to say the same thing, how he has a song for like the disrespect that has been shown to him and his family and friends as a Hispanic man in America. Um, and that's kind of like the messages that they want to send, especially like the struggles. They do both feel like they have been discriminated against, and this is where they kind of differ. Whereas Tragic says that he doesn't feel like he has ever been discriminated against in the music industry being Hispanic, but he does feel like he has been discriminated against in the world just for being Mexican. Whereas Ice, he believes that he has had a lot of hindrance being Hispanic, but he's proud to be Hispanic and Mexican. He just feels like it has prevented him from going further. that we, like, and I say we because I am also Mexican, is that Mexicans will get censored, that we don't ever get shown the hard work that we do, especially when it comes to industries like this. He also brought up how the fact that, as he said, when a Mexican does wrong, it's front page news, but when a Mexican does right, it is nowhere to be found. Any articles or anything like that. So it kind of fell into that. And so he said that because the rap scene was more of a black artist scene, and it was something like it, so black people get more known for it, and white rappers too because they're white, but it's harder for Hispanics or any other ethnicity to get shown recognition for it. But he says that he won't stop and he will continue to make music until he's tired of it, despite the challenges. I also asked like what nationality they thought the majority of their listeners were. They both definitely said that Mexicans being the number one, but they do have a lot of like different types who listen to their music. And they feel like that is just because the type of music that they make and where they are more known. Asked them if they thought their music would inspire people. And Tragic said that because he's a new artist, he doesn't really know, but it definitely inspires him. Writing his music and performing inspires him, which is a big deal, obviously. And he says that when he plays it for his friends or he's at a party and like he can see people getting really excited for it and dancing along, and so that really is heartwarming for him. Ice likes to think that his music does. He has written a couple songs for a lot of like other artists out there who have performed these songs, and he says that he knows that his words can inspire people if they want to sing it on their own accord. And I asked what type of role they thought this type of music played, and more specifically their music, and Tragic said that it was other artists like him that inspired him to make music. And Ice kind of said the same thing, saying that it was all those who came before him and made music that he was inspired to make music. And so therefore he hopes that this music will inspire others, to let others know that just because you're Mexican doesn't mean you have to be a mariachi, doesn't mean that you have to play bachata or dance bachata or like do a specific thing that falls into what normally you would do because of your race or because of your skin color. And that music, especially like even rap, is open for everybody. Thank you.